Do you ever just want to rest, but then there's so many things to do, and your to-do list seems just never ending? But you would like to rest. You would like to take a little siesta, a little vacation, a little holiday, just a nap. But everything seems so demanding. And then you're one of those people that when you do rest, there's this conditioned guilt that you feel from resting. I want to share something with you from this book I've been reading. It's The Ruthless Elimination to Hurry by John Mark Comer. I've been reading it for a while, and I have been reading it slow. It's one of those books you want to read slow. You really want to unpack. He is really an intellectual. But he says, of course, this is easier said than done, to live the restful life that Jesus lived, because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. He showed us the way to live life, the way to rest, the way to live burden-free, but we have got to choose to live that way. It's easier said than done. Most people find this practice extremely hard to do, not just for introverts. Many would say it's the most difficult and most radical of all the practices. Cue what I said earlier about all the emotions you've been running away from sneaking up on you. You try to run away from the fact that you feel guilt when you want to rest, that you feel so tired, that you feel overwhelmed, now you're angry, now you're sad, just all these things. And yet it's so easy that you just take a little time each day to be alone in the quiet with yourself and God. Ideally, you add in some longer stints, say on the Sabbath, or a periodic retreat, but it's more resting than working, more about not doing than doing. Subtraction is not addition. It's easy, and as it is true of all the practices, it makes the rest of our lives easier. It is about doing less, not doing more. This new way of following Jesus is about doing less and not doing more. And I say new, but it's not new. We're just stumbling upon it. I'm one of those people who have to constantly be doing something. That, for me, and trying to follow this restful Jesus feels like wrong. It feels wrong because it's not what I'm used to. I'm not somebody who doesn't have 1,000 things to do and someone who's not what I say productive. But this type of productivity that I'm referring to is really destructive. And we can't do it. I had got up last Sunday morning and had an hour just sitting quietly with the Lord. I think I drank like hot cocoa or something, and then I sat here, or I had like cereal, and I sat here in my rocking chair, and I just kind of rocked away, just sat here with the Lord. I felt so much peace. I felt so much peace that when I had left church, I had to go have a second round. And so I went to the park, even though it was like 30-something degrees, maybe 30, maybe 49. It's still very cold and it was windy. And I walked a mile around the park in a flimsy little wool sweater, some jeans, and some Air Forces. Like, I had to have some time with the Lord. And I'm not telling you my outfit so you think I'm fly. I don't care about that. I'm just making an example. I desperately needed to get away. And I know that you do too, because we're both human beings. And so he goes on to say, I grew up in a church tradition where we started our days with a quiet time. At the very beginning of our days, we would set aside a chunk of time to do Jesus-y stuff. Usually there was coffee involved. Normally we'd read the Bible, ask God to do some things in our lives, confess our screw-ups, our needs, our aches. Sometimes we just sat there alone in the quiet with God in our souls. Guys, I grew up to where my daddy would make Sabbath on the Saturday, and he would make us sit there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. doing nothing but reading the Bible. Some of us couldn't read, doing nothing but watching movies. Like, it began to be traumatic to me to watch like the movie of Jesus being beat on the cross. Like, I was a small kid. I wasn't even in school, and I was just crying to this, and like, and I know this is traumatic, me telling you this, and a lot of guys may have experienced something like this, but this is not the type of Sabbath that the Lord is talking about. The type of Sabbath that the Lord is talking about is you do not pick up the phone and do anything that is overwhelming for you. You do not go out the house like me and try to put laundry on 7 days a week or try to find something to clean 7 days a week. You do not need to be telling yourself, no, you do not deserve a nap. You do not deserve this food or whatever because you haven't done enough to be productive, to matter. That is not, no, no, no. The Lord is saying you're not enough and that's okay. You don't have what it takes on your own and that's okay. Still, I am, and I'm offering you rest. I modeled that rest for you, and I don't even need rest.